What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? And one eyebrow, also known as PT. You don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about Fear the Walking Dead, and are these things connected? Morgan, Cameron, is there a connection? Spoiler warning for The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, everything related to the Walking Dead universe. Spoiler warning. Well, we still don't know who saved Morgan, and we don't know who killed Cameron. So they could both be connected for sure, because we just don't know. Now let's go back to season 5, episode 16. This is the way it ended. The last scenes of the season where Morgan shot in the chest, bleeding. Walkers are coming towards him. How did he get away? We don't really know, but he ended up like this at the beginning of season 6. So there was a time jump. 5 to 6 weeks later, Morgan was still alive. His organs, body were failing. He had gangrene, and he wasn't doing well. Well, he was still alive, and somehow he created this water tower, house, oasis, safe zone. He could get up and down the ladder. He could just do it all. Morgan doesn't die, and he didn't. Like I said, he created this awesome place. This is pretty cool, I have to say. It looks clean. It looks nice. It looks like one of the better places to have in a zombie apocalypse. But how did Morgan get here? How did he stay alive? How did he get all these antibiotics? We just don't know, because there haven't been any answers yet. What we're going to find out, hopefully, in a couple episodes, maybe the back half of season 6, hopefully some point, right? We want to know who saved Morgan before Isaac, who left the bullet in, who basically just tried to patch him up and kept him alive somehow in some way. We just don't know. But I have an idea that we could connect the dots a little bit. Now, I had a video earlier, I talked about who saved Morgan in it. Some people are hoping, pleading, really wanting Madison to come back and for her to be the one that saved Morgan. But if you go back to season 6, episode 1, Morgan is in the limousine. There's a gunfire, takes out the walker, breaks the window, and you see Ginny's patrol rangers on horseback, right? So they're in the area. Then we fast forward to season 6, episode 2, and we meet Dakota, and she's helpful. She's helpful to Strand and Alicia and Janice and everybody in that episode. She's kind of going against her sister, Virginia, which is fine by me. I'm good with that. Dakota's already a better character in my book than Virginia, but Dakota is showing that she's helpful to the group. And if you think, well, she helped Strand, she helped Alicia, why couldn't she help Morgan? Definitely on that checklist. Yep, she could still help Morgan. But how could she do it alone? Morgan is a grown man. He's probably dead weight because he's probably not helping. He's passed out. How did she help him? Did she get him into the water tower? We just don't know that many specifics. We don't have a good general idea, but I believe that if Dakota did save Morgan, she had help. Now, let's talk about Cameron and Janice, right? They were together at some point. Now they're not because Cameron is gone, but Cameron is a ranger. Janice was with Cameron. And also, before season 6, episode 4, she was here with Alicia and Strand, as you see her behind Alicia there. And Strand asks Janice, "What did you do to earn this honor?" And Janice answers, "What did I do? Or what did they catch me doing?" And then Strand asks, "Who runs this place?" And Janice says, "The Rangers." Well, we don't know why Janice is there and what she got caught doing. But then in season 6, episode 4, she's put in laundry duty in Lawton, and she's working with John and June and exchanging notes. And then we find out that Cameron is killed. He's a walker. He's in the barbed wire fence, and we don't know who did it. John is looking into it. Cameron had his throat slit. He had something in his hand, a knife handle fragment, and then we find an earring in the ground. John finds an earring. Goes to Janice about it. Janice's like, "It's not my earring. I don't know." But then she lies about not knowing Cameron. Why wouldn't she just tell John? I guess she doesn't have anyone to trust, and she was trying to just escape with Cameron, we find out later. And then at the funeral, I find a couple of things interesting. One, they rushed to bury the body. It was a cover-up. Ginny's trying to cover something up. But John turns to Dakota, and John asks, "Did you know him?" Dakota replies, "He was always on my ranger detail when we traveled outside the gates." And then Virginia comes in and is like, "Oh, it's real sad. She's really dealing with it." And she interrupts Dakota. But it feels like Dakota was going to try to tell John something involved somehow. And in this episode, and really all the time, Virginia interrupts Dakota, speaks for her. It just keeps being interrupted. And then when John goes to talk to Virginia after the funeral, you just see that Virginia is like, "It's over now. We can do this." And then we find out that Cameron was giving the notes to Virginia. John's messages and notes to June and the correspondence is out of the bag. And Virginia doesn't care because John said good things about Virginia and Lawton that he's buying into it. But you're like, all right, something's up with that. Cameron, the notes, Janice, we're like, all right, something's here. But we still don't have an answer. And then when John leaves Ginny's office, Dakota's waiting there for him. She asked if he was a cop, if he killed anybody, but then she says she's protecting someone. And John says, who? Dakota replies, I don't know, but you need to keep looking. And then Virginia again comes in, interrupts, tells Dakota to go home, and Dakota just goes home. But the big question I have is, why didn't Janice just tell John if she was involved with saving Morgan? Like, Morgan's still alive. Or maybe, maybe she didn't know, but maybe she's not involved. It's just a question is like, that's the only thing. I'm like, why didn't Janice say anything to John anymore? But something was up when she was in the jail cell. She gave up. Cameron was gone. They planned on leaving, but Cameron was killed. And so maybe she just gave up hope. But if she was on the way out and she actually helped save Morgan or was involved with it, why didn't she just tell John? She had nothing to lose. She was going to die anyway. That's my only thing where like, maybe Janice wasn't. But it's a theory right now, and it makes you wonder. But the fact that we still don't know who killed Cameron, who saved Morgan, and it wasn't Sherry because Sherry and Morgan were face to face, and Sherry didn't have any clue who Morgan was, because if she saved him, then she would have been like, oh my goodness, you're alive, you made it, I'm glad, something. There was just nothing like that. Sherry clearly wasn't connected with Morgan, or they glanced over it, but I doubt that. So do you think Cameron's death was possibly because Ginny found out that Cameron helped try to save Morgan? But who do you think saved Morgan? Who do you think killed Cameron? Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Stay safe and tell them, Daryl.
No, we love you guys.